Hi Stian, welcome to your private Oracle of Love reading. Before I begin, I just want to say a quick thank you for requesting a private reading from me. It would be my absolute honor to see what the cards can reveal in regards to your situation and when you will potentially meet your twin flame, under which circumstances, and the kind of person she will be. So you have asked these 3 questions. I will incorporate them into the reading as I go. Thank you also for sending through your details. You are born under the sign of a Virgo with a Taurus moon and an ascending Capricorn here. So we'll have a look and see what the cards can reveal. And straight away, I just want to jump out. I just want to jump into it and see how this woman, how this potential twin flame of yours is presenting herself. Okay, starting with these cards, and then I'll work through the decks here as well to see what sort of connection this will be, what kind of person she will be, and any other details I can provide for you. So let's have a look and see what kind of person she will be, and then we'll look into the when and under which circumstances as well, and anything more we can learn about the situation here. So what kind of person is she? Is this a twin flame connection? What can we learn about this twin flame female coming in for Stian? I'm not sure if it was Stian or Stian, so I'm sorry about the pronunciation. Okay, I feel like this card is jumping out at me. You've got the Priestess of Contemplation. This is very nice. You do have someone who's highly intellectual. This could be book smarts. This could be someone who's quite deep and philosophical. The Priestess of Contemplation sits upon her throne here, writing in her Book of Hours. I really feel like you've got a deep character coming towards you here. Now, I feel like this is more because the halo sits behind the priestess here, this is definitely she might have angelic features or an angelic-like presence. I sense that she could be very, very calm. She could be very calm-natured or very delicate, fragile, or sensitive. She's deeply feminine, okay? So I'm not sure the kind of person you're looking for, but this is definitely a highly feminine female here. She could be a writer, she could be an artist, she could be in creativity, she could be in journalism, she might like books, she might like fantasy. There might be something she does, and it's her way of dealing with escapism somehow. So she might be a writer, she might appreciate a good book, a good novel. She could be very in tune with technology. She could be very learned and very wise. I do feel like she could challenge you in some ways, like intellectually. She might be up for a debate. She might be full of facts. She might be very good at trivia. But I do believe she's very academically inclined, or she has a very inquisitive mind. So a highly engaged mind is what I'm sensing around her. But she is more reserved. I don't feel like she is... I don't feel like she's overly loud or boisterous or wants to be the center of attention, because this priestess is just doing her own thing and she's just happy doing her own thing. I don't think she has a wide social circle of friends. I think she might have a few people that she keeps, she nurtures that relationship and she keeps in touch with. I don't feel as though she's like a party animal or anything like that. I think she's quite a serious-minded woman, okay? But she's happy to do her own thing. I think there is a streak of independence around her. I don't feel as though she'll be overly clingy or overly codependent. And I do feel she's sentimental, because the Book of Hours was things that meant something or mattered to this priestess here, and she writes it. So I feel as though she very much lives in the moment. She's sentimental, she's nostalgic, she appreciates life. There's been something that's happened either to her family, to her circumstances, and it's made her appreciate the gift of life. So I do feel she's grateful for her situation here. But she's very thoughtful, she's sweet, she thinks a lot. Could be prone to anxiety or nervousness, contemplation, maybe more leaning towards an air sign or someone with heavy air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius as well. Let's have a look and see what else we can learn about her. Okay, how else is she coming up as? What kind of person is she? Okay, Two of Cups is a twin flame connection here. She's got the Devil card next to her, so this could symbolize Capricorn energy around her somewhere as well, or she's destined for the Capricorn. And because you have a very prominent Capricorn energy as your rising sign, I do feel like the two of you are destined to meet. And you've genuinely asked about a twin flame, and you do have the twin flame card here. This is the Two of Cups, the two lovers intertwined together into a beautiful union. I do feel like she's your equal, and you might have had soul ties with her in a past life, hence why you'll be brought together in this life with the Two of Cups energy. Emotionally, the two of you will mirror each other, so you'll both feel a very strong connection towards each other. Your lives might be intertwined now, or they will be intertwined very, very soon. The two of you are somehow connected. I think it might point to a more spiritual and or emotional connection, but it could be that you might know this person, you might know her already, but I'll have a look and see further using another deck as to how and when the two of you could meet. But the Two of Cups, there is this Piscean influence possibly around her, which does show someone who's very kind, compassionate, caring, and someone who can become deeply attached. But I love what this represents. I feel like she's looking for romance. She's looking for love. She's looking for something serious. She's thinking about it a lot. I feel like she's trying to invite it into her life right now. She might be in a relationship. I don't know if it's a twin flame relationship. It could be a toxic relationship. The Devil card is around her, which can show, I did mention there might be something that's made her be the person that she is today. And with the Devil card, it could be trauma. It could be power. If she is in a relationship, it could be a very toxic relationship. The person that she's with or the ex-lover that she's had could have been very, very controlling over her, or might have had a lot of dominance over her, okay, power, possibly possessive or protective, or just didn't treat her very well. And I do sense she is more a submissive female rather than a really direct masculine, because she's got more feminine than masculine energy. So I don't know if that's a man that's tried to overpower her or tried to over dominate her, but she could be in that sort of energy now. I feel like that is the most recent relationship she's in, and then it will lead her to you, because if I take the toxicity out of the Devil card energy, I do feel like this is your Capricorn energy that's coming through, looking at her. Very, very powerful. But look, it can also point to her having Capricorn energy in her chart as well, which I think would be good, because I think on some level the two of you could be quite humble, could be quite practical, and the fact that you might have strong earth energy in each other's charts. I mean, you're a Virgo, Sun, Taurus, Moon, you're nothing but earth, at least for your very dominant planets. So I feel like dominant signs. So I feel like that if a part of her does have Capricorn energy, it's going to complement your your relationship and the way you get on. But look, the Devil card energy is that she could have an addictive personality, or she might be obsessed with something here. She might be addicted to sex. She might be addicted to novels. She might be addicted to escapism. She might be addicted to gambling. You know, the Devil card, or cigarettes, you know, smoking, drinking. It could be something that she does, something that she used to do. Maybe she's recovered, maybe she's learnt, she's moved on from that. But there might be something in her past that was harmful or hurtful, and it's around her, okay? Or she still carries that within her. So whether it was like a previous partner, whether it was an addiction, the Devil card next to her could show she's been overpowered by something in her life, and that's overtaken her emotions or her thoughts for a period of time. Again, it could be traumatic. It could be like her parents splitting up. It could be an addiction to a substance. You know, it could be verbal abuse, emotional abuse she's experienced. I mean, we all have our stories. We all come from places, so it's no surprise. You know, you shouldn't be fearful that the Devil card has come up next to her. We all carry scars. We all, you know, we're only human. And I feel like she might be carrying something still, or something has happened to her, and she might open up about that to you. And if she doesn't, then I do feel it's connected to a person, okay? Either a parent or someone she's been in a relationship with the Devil card energy. But it can show someone, because the Devil card has strong sexual energy, it can show someone who's not promiscuous, but she might use sex as her way to get, you know, get her way. I wouldn't say sexual manipulation, but that might be around her. Just want to put that out there. Or it could be that she genuinely enjoys sex. She likes bondage. She might be quite kinky. She could be quite like a temptress. Okay, so she could very much enjoy sex. She could have a high sex drive. The Devil card can be read in many different ways. The King of Swords is here to no surprise. It is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. I do feel like she's very vigilant. She's very aware. She's very switched on. She's very observant. She's got a lot of attention to detail. And I definitely feel a part of her is governed by air energy here. Definitely a thinker. Could be a storyteller, great with communication, a great conversationalist, well-educated, or just a curious mind, self-taught, self-studied, etc. That could be also coming in around her. She could... there might be something about the way she speaks that could really attract you. Could even be an accent. Or the way she enunciates her words that you'll find deeply attractive, but you'll be very drawn to her mind. She's very strong-minded. She might not always let that on, but she's very strong-willed and very strong-minded, or she has become very strong-minded, because the King of Swords, she hasn't come up as the Page of Swords, which is the real anxious uncertainty. It's the King of Swords who approaches things with confidence, who weighs up the dark and the light, who weighs up the pros and the cons, who's deeply analytical, assessing, has a wide perception. So that might be coming up around her as her energy. But I do think you'll have a very strong mental connection. The two of you, you'll enjoy conversation with each other. Quite a curious energy coming up around her. She also have the Eight of Wands, Aries, Sag, Leo energy. This is fire, this is passion, this is sex, this is energy. The wings, air energy, okay, the wings coming up here. But the reds in these signs, the halo, which could look like the sun, and also the Eight of Wands, he does indicate fire energy in her chart. But the Eight of Wands is about, in this particular deck, it is about wishes. And I think it's more to do with romance and passion. I do feel like she is wanting a passionate relationship. She's also wishing and hoping for that. But she's also, it's ambition, okay? I feel like the Eight of Wands priestess makes a wish, takes her staff and goes and chases those dandelion puffs, goes and chases her wishes and her dreams. So you have someone that is quite motivated in career, in life, in the creative sense, in a day-to-day sense. I do feel it's not a person, I feel like she plans things well and then she executes them well. So you do have a go-getter here that's coming in around you. But the Eight of Wands could also be movement. So there might be someone foreign. It could be someone that moves around, is well-traveled, or even different nationality to you. Could be quite traditional in one sense, I feel, okay, because the trees represent tradition, old age tradition. So she could come from a traditional family. She could be deeply active, like physically very active, sexually very active. But it's more to do with wishes, signs, symbols, synchronicities. But I do feel like she has a certain energy about her, an active energy. So I do feel like it's going to take you a while, 8 steps, 8 days, weeks, months, years, to really uncover her true self. Again, this is the way she presents herself, and the way we present ourselves isn't always the way we actually really are. So I do feel like there's layers around her that you'll come to get to know and experience. Let's have a look at when and where you'll meet and potentially under which circumstances. Okay, you had a few cards fall out. I want to select the top 4. Wow, okay, very nice. You've got the marriage card. Look, this is quite interesting because there's several things that have popped up here. Let's start off with the Two of Pentacles. Now, this is dual energy. I really feel like this could point to you have 2 opportunities to meet her. It's 2 Pentacles. The 2 ones that stand side by side. I feel like you've got 2 opportunities in your life to meet her. This also can point to twin flame energy as well. The Two of Wands can be seen as you being in between jobs, in between transitional places in your life. This reading is based more on you than her, so I feel like this might relate to you. You might be changing jobs. You might be thinking about moving abroad. You might be taking a holiday. It could even be on a trip that the two of you might meet. It might be somewhere near boats, rivers, oceans, streams, lakes. It might be on a cruise ship. It could be whilst on holiday. It could be some sort of journey or holiday or trip you might be thinking of taking or actually take. And that is what's going to lead you to her. But I also get the notion of you being in a transitional phase in your life. And that's when the two of you will connect. So this is quite interesting. It could be when you're at two different income streams or transitions in your life, or when you're juggling a lot. You'll have a lot on your plate. It could be concerning money, property, assets as well. But you also have the Four of Wands, which is seen as the marriage card. There is potential for marriage with her. Whether this is yours or her doing or her wanting. But the Four of Wands could be a card of celebration. So if you're invited to any engagements, christenings, traditional events, birthdays, weddings, parties, housewarmings, gatherings, work functions, there's something about a celebration here. So you might be meeting under very festive celebrations. You might be celebrating something at work. You might be celebrating a friend's birthday. You might be invited to a family wedding. You might be, it's some sort of celebratory function where there's a lot of people. And this could be how the two of you meet. If that's not the case, if you do have an Aries around you, you might be introduced to an Aries friend. That's the only sign that has come up, the only time that has come up. Or this function may take place in the time of Aries, March 21st to April 19th. I do think it could be in the next 2 to 4 years, possibly 24 months. I think 4 years is maximum that you'd be waiting for her to come into your life, to be honest. But the time of Aries has come up. Now, the Sun card is a beautiful card. It could be during the summer or springtime, depending where you are. But the Sun card is family, it's community, it's children, it's openness, it's excitement. But the Sun card is also the self. So there might be things happening with the self. That's why I said that there might be transitions happening or something in its early stages. A new job, a new learning opportunity, a new child being welcomed into the family or from a friend. But it's learning and development. So that's interesting that's come up. She could come into your life around that time. She's almost going to be like the sun. Like a sun goddess that will make her way into your life. You'll feel like a child again. What looks like a young boy. Could be a girl, but I feel like it's a boy. It's Aries, and Aries is divine masculine. You'll feel excited. You'll feel giddy. And I think upon instant connection with her, you'll definitely feel very attracted. The sun is very strong. It's very vibrant. It's got a very magnetic pull. It's the giver of life. I do feel like it's a very instant physical attraction that the two of you will connect with. Now, the Ace of Swords is also here, which can point to a battle or can point for fighting for communication or fighting for something. I do feel like there might be a struggle of communication or words upon your first meeting. Maybe because of a language barrier. And if it is at a function, there could be a lot of other people around you, loud music, and this is why you might struggle to speak. The Swords is communication, or you might struggle to find the words to communicate her with. Now, because you are a Virgo sun, Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury. Mercury is in the messenger. Mercury rules communication. So this could be you. She will follow your conversation efforts, but you need to be the initiator. You can't let anxiousness or nervousness get the better of you. You need to be the one to initiate it because she will reciprocate and follow your conversation efforts. I do feel like you'll successfully gain her attention and gain her interest with your words, but I feel like there's something about a communication barrier here. I don't know if it's the function where you'll be. I don't know if there'll be several people there at the same time. I don't know if it's going to be a language barrier, if you do end up meeting overseas somewhere. And this is what ultimately, this is why the Ace of Swords is coming up. So I do sense that it can point to something to do with communication. Not enough time for communication. Time could be very limited, or words could be limited. Could be through the community as well. I mean, the children are here, that through the neighborhood as well. Friends of friends, but Aries. I'm leaning towards a time of Aries, okay, upon your first meeting. Let's explore the connection that you'll share with her. What sort of connection will you share? I do feel like it's a twin flame connection. Okay, insight, this is very, very powerful. The beautiful white neon light that elevates this female form here. This points to purity. Okay, white is a very pure color. It's a very peaceful color. I do feel like, because it's the word insight as well, I do feel as though you're going to have a lot of self-discoveries. It's the reason why the two of you are coming into each other's lives is because you're here to teach or bring purity. It's a very pure and genuine connection, no doubt about this. But it's also to bring insight and awareness about yourself, but also yourselves in the physical form and, the mental form, but also in the spiritual, which is very beautiful. You've got the number 3 and 1, which make 4. This is very, very powerful because 4 points is a number of solidarity and concreteness. It's also like a number of completion, the 4 elements, the four corners. It's a very good number. It's a very auspicious number. So I do feel like there's longevity. There's possibility for longevity with her. And your connection together. But you'll learn a lot about yourself right down to your core. All these chakras that are being illuminated. Very, very beautiful here. So a lot of spiritual awakening that's going to take place for you and her. Definitely. Let's have a look at your relationship. Where there might be areas of strength and areas of challenges. Okay, areas of strength is good. Planning for the long-term future will be very, very good between the two of you. You will share the same long-term vision, which I like, because this means you'll both see each other in each other's future, and you're both going to be very forward thinkers, and you're both going to talk about the future fairly early on in the relationship, maybe 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. I don't think it's 3 years. It could be, however, into this relationship. So, the 3 of Wands can also rule adventure, spontaneity, passion, sexuality. So I feel like this might be your strengths in your relationship together, but it's all about the long-term future. So the two of you will be able to sustain each other for the long term, which is really, really positive. You also have the 7 of Pentacles. It is earth energy. The 7 of Pentacles is a message, a symbolism here of contemplation, of planning, but it's also gratefulness and gratitude. So the two of you will be very grateful for each other. Financially, I do feel like the two of you could see eye to eye, okay, for the most part, but there might be challenges when it comes to the big milestones, but we'll get to that in a second. I think financially, the two of you, I don't feel as though you're going to be overly competitive with each other. I definitely feel like you're both going to revel in the beautiful moments and be as present with each other as you can, which is really, really powerful. My concern would be with the King of Pentacles is that when you address the big milestones, either potentially moving in together, buying an asset together, or spending large amounts of money, this could be an issue. Because the King of Pentacles, Taurus energy, rules earthly luxury possessions. So it's either excessiveness that will be a problem, but the King of Pentacles also rules loyalty. That could be where one of you falters a little bit, staying loyal. I don't see, it's not like the 7 of Swords has come up or the 3 of Swords. That would definitely point to deceit and disloyalty. It just shows it could be an issue, okay? Or finally finding stability, routine, could be an issue for either you. You are a Taurus moon, so it could be that your emotions may be complicated here, or may be one of the setbacks or obstacles that the relationship could face. King of Pentacles is also deeply stubborn, so stubbornness, either yours or hers, will be something that you need to look out for, something that you'll need to work through in your relationship together. Your long-term vision is there, the way you see things. It's possible for you to get there, but I'm wondering why, you know, when it comes to employing the practical, the two of you might stagnate a little bit. The Queen of Swords is also here. Now, for the most part, she's very direct, but if I try to read her in a context of difficulty or obstacles, the Queen of Swords overanalyzes everything. She reads too deeply into things. She presumes things. She makes mountains out of, you know, what's as the saying goes, it's completely escaped me now. She makes things much bigger than they need to be. She exaggerates. She's also anxious. She doesn't trust. She's very hypothetical. She can be over the top, but it's to do with the mind. So something to do with communication. You might struggle with communication, either trust, confidence, self-esteem, or the way you communicate with each other, how open and honest you are with each other might be a flaw, or you might not be open and honest or direct enough with each other, and that could be something that takes this relationship, you know, to another level. But look, these are things you can work through, because I always like to remind my clients, although tarot can be a powerful guide to use for insight and validation and you know, direction, the journey is still being written, and this is by no means concrete. The journey is still to be written by yourself and her. So I always encourage you to approach these messages with an open mind and an open heart. But nonetheless, I do hope it has been insightful, and it's given you some sort of, you know, something to look forward to and something to look out for potentially when you do in fact meet and pair up with this beautiful woman here. So nonetheless, I do want to wish you all the best, Stian. I hope this has been insightful. I just want to thank you again for watching my YouTube channel. Really, really means a lot to me. And if I can be of any help in the future, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Otherwise, sending you all my love, wishing you happiness, success, love, passion, money, career, wealth, joy, whatever it is that you're looking for from this life. I hope it's given to you. I really do. So please take care, and I hope to connect very, very soon. All the best. Bye for now.